Hello everyone and welcome to today's Pimcore Inspire presentation, where for the next 20 minutes we will talk you through some cases which were implemented by Youwe. My name is Erwin Iddelenburg, I'm the CCO within Youwe, and next to me is Henk Mensinga, Director of Product Implementation. The topics we would like to discuss today are a short background of Youwe before we give you some insights on the value of portals, and of course two cases we would like to discuss to give you a clear difference of the capabilities of Pimcore as a solution. Youwe is a full-service digital agency with its headquarters in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. With 10 offices in 6 countries, we service our customers throughout Europe and the APAC region with over 240 professionals. Services that we provide are DXP, Digital Experience Platforms, e-commerce, MarTech, PIM-MDM to AI solutions such as price optimization and demand forecasting. We stay ahead and go beyond, and our expertise didn't go unnoticed. That's why Pimcore announced last year that Youwe is the Pimcore Partner of the Year, something that makes us very proud.
Today we would like to talk about portals, and not just the experience portals that Pimcore provides, but portals in a broader sense. And the portal is not just one solution, but all portals are a personal way to help businesses connect with their customers, employees, partners, etc. Portals have evolved from simple systems to advanced platforms that will make your work easier and more efficient. Instead of dealing with every customer or partner personally, you will just provide them with a portal that contains all necessary information. A portal will also be one single source of truth, and it will make you control the given information and make sure your brand consistency is as high as possible. As a company, you can also use portals as a great engagement channel. We have a couple of types of portals, of which we will talk about 2 cases today. One is a brand portal, and the other one is basically a combination of a supplier portal, self-service portal. But the typical types of portals that we deal with are first a brand portal, and a brand portal allows you to share digital content, style guides, etc. with vendors, but also with employees. Supply portal, of course, for onboarding data, product data, and make a direct connection with your vendor. A dealer portal, the other way around, as a manufacturer or distributor, have a direct connection with the dealer to provide them with the necessary data. Of course, a partner portal, a portal that's used by software vendors and other likes to provide partners with the right information. A self-service portal could be from a energy contract to whatever type of business, really getting the right information to a person that's really tailored for their usage. And inventory management portal, handling with inventory of products. If we sum up the story around portals, basically the added value of portals is being a single source of truth, providing self-service, providing a real targeted journey, direct access to content, and really personalized access to content.
One of the cases that we would like to start with is the case for Saudi Aramco, officially known as Saudi Arabian Oil Company. It's the world's biggest producer of oil with over 270 billion barrels in reserves. It's by far the world's most profitable company, eclipsing even the tech giants such as Apple and Google. But of course, Formula One fans know Aramco as the sponsor, which can be seen here.
Can you feel it? It's coming.
It's lights out, and away we go.
The energy of Formula One. It flows from the track to the drivers to the crowd. We feel the energy. We share the energy. Get ready. Aramco. Real energy.
The goal of Aramco was to create a portal to make a complex brand and style system easy to access and to use, enabling users the best experience to complete their user goals, as well as to create more brand and quality awareness. To do so, the challenge Aramco wanted to win is to have a solution which would be self-explaining for people with limited knowledge. In this slide, you can see which Pimcore building blocks we used for this particular product. Henk, could you elaborate on the specific building block DXP and portals, please?
Yes, and this image clearly also illustrates why we are using Pimcore as a platform for portals, because the different building blocks available to us allow us to create the portals that we need. In this case, only 4 building blocks were used. DXP for giving the front-end experience, digital asset management to provide all the content within the portal, of course master data management to manage all the data around content and around style guides and branding issues. And of course the portals were used on the delivery side to deliver the content to the users.
But in this case, if you talk about the difference between Pimcore a few years ago with really focusing on PIM MDM and DAM solutions, the new availability of portals and DXP within Pimcore makes it even more usable for customers in this case.
Definitely, yes. A quick look at the front end of this portal. The portal was built for Aramco because they don't allow any cloud solutions. So they came to us to build a branding portal for them to provide branding content to both their employees and to vendors, etc. Basically through accessing the portal, employees and vendors have a clear guide on how they use the branding, the style guides and the content in whatever they are trying to achieve. If you look at this example, you see an example of the website with a clear menu providing them access to the different content that's available. And in this case, a page about the logo that also gives a description of the logo and how that logo should be used. And for instance, in the next one, this is clearly a definition of the color schemes used for Aramco in different situations. One of the things you probably all know Aramco from is from Formula One. Some funny facts, Pimcore and Youwe, Austria and Holland. Basically that's a connection we also have within Formula One with the Red Bull team and Max Verstappen. And in this image you can see a large usage of Aramco material. And a fun fact is to know that actually for Formula One they created a separate logo that is still visible with high-speed cameras, etc.
The next case we would like to discuss is the Sol Group, and the Sol Group is active in the production, applied research and sale of technical, pure and medical gases and home services. The industry where Sol Group is active are the industrial healthcare and biotechnical sector.
This story begins 90 years ago with a molecule and an idea. The molecule was the basis of life itself, oxygen. The idea was to make it available where needed and to produce the gases that help us live, work and breathe. Vivisol provides home care therapy services, improving the quality of life of patients all over the world by providing medical treatment and devices, ensuring clinical and nursing management and integrated care at patient homes. After 90 years, Sol Group is the largest independent Italian company in its sector. Sol Group works every day for a sustainable world. A world that lives and grows. A world that breathes. Sol Group, a breath of life.
Sol Group provides its customers innovative solutions for improving the quality of life on the planet. To give you a little bit of an insight on the case for For Sol Group, within the Sol Group, the Dutch entity Vivisol had the need for a portal which is meant for patients, hospitals and doctors. And the complexity of this portal was mainly the integration with the IT infrastructure, such as SAP S/4HANA, but also the security and legislation around patient medical background and health records. Usability was also a very important item because the average age of most patients, which are not very common in the digital, are not really digital experts because they're usually elderly people with the problems around the breathing and the lungs. For Vivisol, additional requirements were streamlining the logistics. As we showed at the Aramco case, in this slide you can see where the Pimcore building blocks were used for a particular project. The most interesting blocks pinpointed are the API, which are very different from the building blocks where we showed on the Aramco case, and also the digital commerce in combination with the DXP. Henk, also the elaboration you had on the Aramco case. In this case, the API, portals, DXP and digital commerce were something new for specifically the Vivisol case, right?
Yeah. The Vivisol case is much more extended than the Aramco one, and we will go through some of the pages you can see within the portal, but also some architecture. Already at this Pimcore platform picture, you see we're using much more building blocks than on the previous one. So in this case, not just digital experience, but also the digital commerce part, so the e-commerce part of Pimcore. Besides digital asset management, we also had products, so product information management, but also master data management in managing treatments, in managing records for hospitals, for doctors, for patients, etc.
This was basically also one of the main reasons why Vivisol and Sol Group chose for Pimcore, because this is kind of like the all-in-one that they were able to use instead of using a separate CMS, a separate commerce and a separate PIM solution.
Yeah, the very scalable data modeling of Pimcore allowed us to set up the different entities needed for this platform. So different entities being not just one patient, but we also had the relation between a hospital, the doctor assistant, etc. Those were important parts, but the APIs you mentioned is an even more important part because this project needed to be integrated with two new platforms for the European Sol Group, being SAP S/4HANA, dealing with all the logistics, etc., and Salesforce Service Cloud, dealing with customers. And those two have been integrated through MuleSoft with Pimcore, but still we had to deal with a lot of the integrations and security around data, around patients, around treatments.
Which can be shown on the next slide.
Yeah. Basically, this is boring architecture, but still a good one to show. This shows you the flow of data from the portal to MuleSoft feeding data into Salesforce and SAP. In the portal itself, within Pimcore, we have the different data models and entities that we talked about and store those in the standard Pimcore database. And that is the part that is exposed to the outside world. So we didn't want any patient data in there and any sensitive data.
And it also underlines the capabilities and the possibilities from Pimcore as a solution, because if you compare the two cases, Aramco versus, in this case, Sol Group, they're completely different, but the solution does provide the tailor-made solution for them.
Yeah. All the building blocks mentioned are used within the portal, and then in this case, what you see is the architecture around Pimcore itself.
Yes.
So next to Pimcore, we used an enterprise service bus and API platform to feed again a bespoke MySQL database that keeps the data and allows us to also make sure that the data that we update from the portal ends up in the systems where it's needed in Salesforce and SAP. But we also update an index for Elasticsearch. So we have all search capabilities within the platform. In the end, that's going through MuleSoft, is distributed to Salesforce and SAP. And they, in turn, which you don't see in this picture, feed those back to the portal on request when somebody logs in.
Yep.
If you look at how what the portal really does, it is provides everything around treatments to patients with respiratory diseases. So even including COVID, people that have smoked and have lung problems, etc. They provide care at the home of people, so not necessarily in a hospital, but people that use oxygen at home. But a treatment like that always starts with a doctor or a visit to a hospital or something being entered into the system by a doctor assistant. So there's always relations between these different entities that have a relation to the patient in the end that has the treatment. That patient is then also connected to a security platform where
Patient's record and
where patients' records are stored, but also health insurance data is accessed to check whether someone is allowed to have that treatment, and then those treatments are allowing for certain components to be sent to the patients.
because there's a dependency on the type of insurance that people have. If the insurance company pays, or people need to pay that from their own pocket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the legislation in the Netherlands. Yeah.
So basically, on the next slide, you see that it is about the patient's journey. Patient insurance is checked, and then the treatment is entered, and basically they have a prescription prescribing what the patient needs. They get the first supply by a Vivisol employee coming to their home and adjusting everything, etc. But after that, replenishment of oxygen, mouth masks, and stuff like that is dealt with through the portal that also understand what has been ordered before and what is part of the patient insurance and what's not. If we then look at the portal in the next slide, then we see the way that the patient accesses the portal, and they have basically don't see the complexity behind the whole portal, but see their treatment and the products that they need to deal with within their treatment.
To ensure that, looking at the elderly, also in this case, if you see in the left top corner, you see the user in this case, it is focused on what they need instead of having a complete store where people have to search for their specific products.
Exclusively on the products they need within their treatment, and sometimes extra products they can order through the portal that are not part of insurance. That same portal also provides access for a doctor or hospital. And of course, they don't see one treatment. They see a list of patients that they can select from. In this case, it's a master user that even has all the different hospitals in there and all the patients underneath. They are able to enter a treatment for a patient within the portal and manage that treatment as well. Of course, if you do look at the patient data, of course, this is all fake data from a demo system, but they also have access to the details of the patient files within the portal in the system. And this is continually synchronized with SAP and Salesforce. There's both desktop and mobile, so there is a lot of thought put into responsive usage of the portal, but main usage is desktop because of the types of users that we have. So the main focus is on that side of the portal. I hope this has given you a good insight into the way Youwe uses Pimcore as a platform for building portals. We have a high emphasis on providing portals because they're not standard projects. They're always into the heart of the company and the way they operate and the processes operate. That's why we think it's great fun to do projects like that.
Correct. And we see that Pimcore has really evolved over the years, and it has become a really digital experience platform. Usage for portals, for PIM-MDM, for digital asset management. We have a strong belief that it will evolve even more within the years. Strong trust in what Pimcore can do and will do for the coming years. If you do have any questions, our contact details are in the slide, where both our telephone numbers and email addresses are. So if you have questions regarding the specific case or future cases within your own company, don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll be very happy to help you where we can.
Thanks for your time.
Have a great day.